This video will discuss what are some of the issues that a patentee might consider when granting a patent license. To do this, we will cover two main issues. Firstly, what are the rights granted to a patent holder, and secondly, some specific issues that a patentee might consider when granting a patent license. A patent grants a patentee several exclusive rights. The patentee has a right to exploit the invention, according to Section 13(1) of the Patents Act. The word exploit is defined to mean that the patent can make, hire, sell, dispose of, use, import, or keep the invention. Firstly, what must be determined is the type of license being granted, whether it is exclusive, sole, or non-exclusive. An exclusive license is granted to one party who can exploit the patent to the exclusion of all others, including the patentee. A sole license is like an exclusive license, but the patentee is still allowed to use it. A non-exclusive license may be granted to more than one person, and the patentee is still able to exploit it. These licenses may be limited by geography, duration, purpose, scope, field of industry, etc. With regard to exclusive and sole licenses, the only factor that a patentee needs to consider is whether they want to exploit the patent to the exclusion of all others. If they do, then they should not grant this type of license. For non-exclusive licenses, the patentee should have regard to the following matters. Firstly, what is the actual licensed property? They should clearly identify the particular patent subject to the license. They should also consider the territory within which the licensee may exercise their rights. What is perhaps the most important consideration is the scope of the rights granted. This may include any restrictions on the use of the licensed patent rights. Also, the duration of the license needs to be clearly identified. And also, as a patent may be licensed in return for valuable consideration, the patentee must factor in any license fees and their payment. Next are the obligations of the licensor. This factor includes the maintenance and enforcement of the licensed patent rights, the continued prosecution of relevant patent applications, and in order to protect themselves against claims by the licensee, they must consider the amount of technical assistance they will give the licensor related to the invention. In order for the patentee to protect themselves, they must factor in any obligations that the licensee is required to meet. These may be performance obligations to exercise best efforts to develop and exploit the technology covered by the license. Another obligation may be the payment of fees. Consider are whether or not the licensee can assign their rights under the license. This is, can they sublicense their rights to another party, and also whether or not the licensee can subcontract to a third party any manufacturing or assembly of licensed products. Who will own any intellectual property that may arise from activities conducted under the license. This may be improvements on or new applications for inventions covered by the license and new inventions that must be developed over time. Additionally, the patentee may wish to impose a reporting and record-keeping requirement upon the licensee, as well as certain confidentiality obligations.
Created using Powtoon.